So let's go back to November of 2020. The Financial Stability Board, consisting of the largest standard-setting bodies in global finance, came together with G20 nations on a set of 19 building blocks focused on enhancing cross-border payments. Block 18 is the one we're going to focus on because it centers around fostering global stablecoin arrangements. They state the work is underway at standard-setting bodies to understand this area and make necessary changes in their respective domains to safeguard the financial system from potential risks. They also consider how well-designed and risk-managed stablecoins could play a role in improving cross-border payments. In light of this, the CPMI and the IOSCO published in July of 2022 final guidance on applying the principles for financial market infrastructures to stablecoins. These principles for financial market infrastructure have served as a global set of standards that have heavy influence on global financial markets. Stablecoins are now going to be incorporated into everyday finance. As the stablecoin sector is evolving rapidly with the potential to impact globally, close attention will be required around risk management. As a next step, the CPMI, in cooperation with relevant stakeholders, is considering whether and how the use of well-designed and risk-managed stablecoins could enhance cross-border payments. The outcome of this work will be finalized by the end of 2022. I take you back to the executive order on ensuring the responsible development of digital assets. The White House explicitly states its support for the G20 roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments, stating the United States continues to support the G20 roadmap for addressing challenges and frictions with cross-border funds transfers and payments for which work is underway. This includes work on improvements to existing systems for cross-border funds transfers, the international dimensions of CBDCs, and the potential of well-regulated stablecoin arrangements. A few months later, the European Union established rules for their stablecoin that align with the Markets in Crypto Assets regulation. Shortly after, the UK did the same thing, followed by Russia and Australia. More recently, Japan announced it would lift the ban on foreign-issued stablecoins. The reason, according to the report, international remittances may become faster if stablecoin usage spreads. Back in the States, before leaving office, Senate Banking Committee member Patrick Toomey introduced legislation to guide future stablecoin regulations, the Stablecoin Trust Act. This act would, in short, enhance financial stability by requiring that all payment stablecoins are fully backed by highly liquid assets, provide clarity on the fact that, at a minimum, stablecoins that do not offer interest are not securities, and authorizes the OCC, primary federal bank regulator, to establish a new federal license explicitly designed for the issuers of payment stablecoins. This shows us, for the last 2 years, the world's leading nations have had an agreed upon goal of developing the stablecoin market to reduce the cost of cross-border payments, and the outcome or path forward was established at the end of last year. Coinmetrics published a report on the total value settled with stablecoins since 2019. Late 2020 through 2022 showed the most growth, reaching $7 trillion. It seems progress is going very well. But what does all this mean for 2023? Well, to answer that, we have to look at the current stablecoin landscape. DeFi Llama gives us data for 90 stablecoins currently in the market. CoinMarketCap gives us 134, but not all of these are drawing activity, and not all of them are important either. What is essential are the chains that these coins live on. This is when the numbers begin to reduce dramatically. You see, not every blockchain or DLT can support a stablecoin, so this means that the ones that do will be powerful in this market. Now, out of the top 12 chains, USDC actually has stronger dominance in 6 of them. Tether only has dominance on Tron and Tezos. Binance supports its own, also IOTX and Harmony, and then we have native chains like Cardano and Celo who have their own stablecoin ecosystems. Even though Tether may have a larger market cap, USDC seems to have the dominance on the workhorse chains in the space, and my data doesn't even include what's on Arbitrum, Optimism, and Avalanche, which USDC also has over 52% dominance. On January 1st, U-Today published a guide on stablecoins that gives us more insight into what to expect from the stablecoin markets in 2023. Circle launched the Eurocoin stablecoin at the end of last year. This sits on both Ethereum and Solana. Equilibrium Labs, a European independent firm, will launch a private stablecoin in Q1 of 2023, which will also fall under MiCA regulations. Tether is expected to lean more into their XAUT or Tether Gold offering, which is set to be backed by physical gold. Russia might find that of interest. Tron is also developing an offering for the facilitation of offshore yuan transactions. What this report doesn't include, however, is some other chains that have been very active in stablecoin developments. How about we start with XRP, who in Q4 leaned heavily into stablecoins. By the end of 2022, they had 6 new stablecoins on the XRP ledger: a digital dollar for the Republic of Palau, an Australian-backed stablecoin through Novati Payments, and Jago in Africa. The 2 biggest ones come from Stasis in Europe and Stably in the United States. Stasis is a firm that initially launched their product on Ethereum, but has since expanded to Polygon, Arbitrum, and Algorand. Stasis is audited regularly and would fall under European stablecoin regulations. Stably brought the first regulated US stablecoin to the XRPL, the USDS. This USDS is one of many on Stably, as they also provide stablecoin offerings for Stellar, Ethereum, Harmony One, Tezos, and VeChain, who, as a matter of fact, launched their native stablecoin through Stably in May of 2022. Now, the reason I spoke about both Stasis and Stably together is that they both have one underlying thread that connects them: one of their custodian providers, Prime Trust. Prime Trust is a regulated entity out of Nevada. They support a long list of crypto players like Abra and Binance US. When it comes to who is who regarding the movement of stablecoins around the world, through Prime Trust, Stasis and Stably have a lock on the US and Europe. XRP is right in the middle of this.
Then we offer what's called payment rails, the credit, debit, checks, ways to get traditional dollars into the digital asset space, and then allow our customers to quickly, easily scale through what we call APIs interacting with us, and really get their products launched quickly.
Along with Stellar Lumens, who just unveiled their Stellar Aid Assist platform. This platform will allow aid organizations to onboard quickly and opt in to use existing digital stablecoins or use their own tokens to pay funds. This platform is the result of the work between MoneyGram, Circle, and Stellar, and uses the Vibrant wallet on the XLM blockchain.
These bills work together. Having a clear definition of what truly is a stablecoin is so important. We already see in this bill there's a process for listing stablecoins, but it's really important because a lot of what we read about in the early days of the summer focused on things that were labeled stablecoins but were not one-to-one backed with fiat, didn't have audit requirements, didn't have the transparency that we think is important not just for American consumers but also for business who want to leverage these stablecoins, as I mentioned in the MoneyGram example.
VeChain, with SupplyME, just completed its first set of transactions on the VeChain Thor blockchain for its inventory monetization platform. This platform allows companies to release cash from inventory value in warehouses and transit without accruing debt, as the software is recognized by Big Four auditors. This details using another form of currency in place of money, maybe a stablecoin. Cardano has 2 stablecoins getting ready for the market, IUSD and DJED. DJED is scheduled for launch in Q1 of this year and will serve as a payment method for applications on the Cardano network. IUSD could be looked at more so as the institutional stablecoin, being backed by a basket of currencies, while DJED currently runs like an algorithmic stablecoin. In December, Brazil passed a law to legalize digital assets as payment. This law clarified what would be defined as a legal payment method. Stablecoins fall under this new law, as Brazil's CBDC is being designed to be interoperable with stablecoins. In addition, recent market data from Kaiko shows that over the last 2 years, 50% of Brazilian real volumes involved a stablecoin. So who's running the stablecoin market in Brazil? Well, outside of the 24,000 ATMs Tether placed there in 2022, Ripple set up ODL in Brazil in August. Stellar partnered with Mercado Bitcoin, Brazil's largest crypto exchange, and is part of one of 9 projects building out their retail CBDC. The results of this is set to be published in February, by the way. Algorand has had a stablecoin product with Brazil through BRZ since 2021, and Celo entered the market with a Brazilian-backed stablecoin, the C Real. Now I want to cap all this off by bringing things back to the States. Quant Network is going to help us do that. In 2021, Quant and the Inter-American Development Bank agreed to a partnership for the development of the LAC chain. This can be described as a DLT payment network that runs throughout Latin America. One of Quant's goals is to provide interoperability capabilities for the LAC chain using their overledger technology. Jump forward a bit to November of 2022, Quant partners with UST, a London-based firm, to facilitate the issuance of CBDCs, digital securities, and digital money in the form of commercial stablecoins. Commercial stablecoins. It's the first time I've heard it put that way. Gilbert Verdian, he wrote a report about it though. The case for commercial stablecoins. Veridian describes the characteristics of a stablecoin that would be suitable at an enterprise level. He provided examples of commercial stablecoins already in the market, one being USDC and another from the USDF consortium. This USDF consortium is an initiative led by, at the time of writing, 10 FDIC-insured banks that will create a bank-minted stablecoin on a public blockchain. When I went to look into this public blockchain, it left me feeling as though I had found the real-life banking clan from Star Wars. The names you need to remember are MBH Bank, NYCB, Figure, First Bank, and Connect One Bank. This all makes sense in a moment. So the name of this public chain is Provenance. It's a proof-of-stake blockchain built to facilitate payments. The fact that it is proof-of-stake is very fitting because when we look at the ecosystem, we find some pretty huge stakeholders. For starters, at the top of the list, we have Figure, followed by NBH and NYCB. We also have a couple more big names on the roster, Silvergate and the Digital Currency Group. First Bank and Connect One Bank make appearances on the FedNow Instant Payment System roster next to Volante Technologies and Alacrity. The latter two are both actively working with Ripple Technology. This would all imply that stablecoins will play a huge role once the FedNow Instant Payment System goes live in May of this year. Now I can only complete this piece by mentioning all the X's. XDC also jumped into the stablecoin market this year through Fluent Finance. Fluent connects XDC to a federation of member banks that work with Fluent. In addition, one of Fluent's founders co-invented central bank digital currencies and also co-founded the Bit Foundation, who partnered with Stellar Lumens on a CBDC project in Africa. Now I still need to know precisely who these federated member banks are. I was able to find two of them, Moonstone Bank and Nest Investment Group. Moonstone Bank has quite the funny story. It was one of the banks that was caught up in the FTX debacle recently. More interesting though is that Moonstone, now known as Farmington State Bank, only became federated in June of 2021. This is according to a report published by Protos in December. The story about its ties to FTX is very compelling, but it also gives us a hint into our discussion. Farmington is located in Washington State. How the Federal Reserve banking system is structured, there are 12 leading banks and 24 branches. Farmington would fall under the San Francisco Federal Reserve branch. That's as far as I could follow that thread without it leading to a longer list of banks that could or could not be included. But our last linchpin is in the mechanics of Fluent itself. They operate on the FNet, which according to Fluent is a private Corda network for the Fluent Federation. The number of banks using Corda, it's outrageous, but at this point, I think you can all see the picture being painted here. Following an agreement set down by the FSB and G20 nations in 2020 centered around the development of stablecoins, we've had a wave of stablecoin innovation and regulation spread all over the globe. Stablecoin metrics have never been higher, and the top 50 coins are now contributing to this. In this video, what I did was attempt to show you the first movers on this trend, and with that, I leave you to make the best informed investment decision possible. Yo, thanks for watching DHN Crypto. If you found value in this content, hit that like button and share this information with a friend. DHN official merchandise is now available. The DHN Crypto Journal and SafePal links are in the description. Have a great day, have a prosperous day, and most importantly, if that money is digital, so is the hustle. I'll see y'all in the next video.